once Nurse just started running these guys into the ground and playing his 5-6 best players 40 minutes a night, they don't have depth, but they do have, they got good players 1 through 7.
I don't know, man. I disagree.
We do have in the Eastern Conference right now, it feels like it's locked in because
those top 10, that's not changing.
It's actually 4.5 now between Atlanta and Washington. So Charlotte was able to hold on. Atlanta was able to hold on. And Toronto is probably going to flip Cleveland. And it's kind of wild because there's 4 that have really separated themselves in the Eastern Conference. And Boston is one of those 4. You got Miami, just last 10 games, and you see the way these teams have performed down the stretch here. Miami 7-3, Milwaukee 8-2, Philly 7-3, Boston 8-2, and then Chicago 3-7, Cleveland 4-6, Brooklyn 5-5, and then Toronto, who is trying to flip it on Cleveland to be able to not have to play in a play-in scenario. And poor Cleveland, who had just such a great season. And then it started with the Rubio thing. And then it happened and then they went and got Rondo, and then he got hurt. And then, of course, the worst one, Jared Allen. They're such a great story all year. And it's just gone the wrong way completely.
They still are a great story, though.
They are.
Yeah, they still are.
They still have wildly overachieved.
For sure. And I mean, the development of Darius Garland, Evan Mobley doing everything he's done on both ends of the court as a rookie. Kevin Love, resurgence. Isaac Okoro figuring out a role in this team and excelling. Yeah, they're still a good story. And for Cavs fans, we talked about last week, they're undoubtedly going to slide down to 7. I'd be shocked if it didn't happen. Toronto is too good, too deep, too healthy. And the fact they just won 5 games in a row on the road, talked about this on the Void, but 14 of their last 18 games on the road.
Brutal.
They've spent 4 days in Toronto, since the All-Star break. They're this team, they're not necessarily going to beat some of the favorites, but don't you feel like, Chris, that they are a threat to at least make it a tough, deep series?
Yeah, I mean, let's say they flip it with Cleveland. As of today, I know you don't like to do this, but we're going to do this. We're going to look at what their matchup would be.
I'm not saying I don't like to do it, Chris. I'm not saying I don't like.
Could they win a couple? Right now, they'd be playing.
I just prefer something else.
Okay. Right now, they'd be playing Philly. Could they win a couple games against Philly? Yes. Could you push Philly to 6? Yeah, you could. Yeah. Their home court advantage is real, and you got to remember, a place like that, they hadn't seen playoff basketball forever.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's been a long time. I bet Toronto will be a hornet's nest for the playoffs. They got all their guys healthy. They could win a couple games for sure. They could win a couple games. I don't think they could beat any of those top 4. But your question was, could they make it a series? Yeah, they're dangerous enough. And then if you caught an injury, they could catch you. They're good enough for that. I mean, once Nurse just started running these guys into the ground and playing his 5-6 best players 40 minutes a night, they don't have depth, but they do have, they got good players 1 through 7.
I don't know, man. I disagree. They have
what?
Depth. They have depth because they were winning games with Banton and Mikhailuk earlier this year and Watanabe, and now those are the guys that aren't playing. And the guys that are, getting Thad Young was a pretty good addition for their rotation. Precious Achua has been terrific for them recently. Boucher has figured things out. They get some guys on that bench. It's just they lack the top end more than anything else. It's because they're the type of team, it's a different guy every night. There's not this premier superstar that's carrying your team. I don't know. I think they have depth. It's just 8 guys. And that's tough for the regular season. 8 primary guys, but it's not like Banton and Svi weren't horrible.
I mean, even last night, they beat the Clippers. You got Achua gets 26 minutes and Boucher gets 22 minutes off the bench. Thad Young got 12.
They don't play much. Yeah, this is like
they don't play much.
That's some Nick Nurse channeling.
That's what he's doing.
He's channeling Tom Thibodeau, right, with the heavy minutes.
It's what he's doing.
I mean, I'm pretty sure. I remember maybe about a month ago we looked at the minutes per game in the NBA, and it was like 3 Raptors up top. Let me look to see what it is right now. Right now, minutes per game. Number 1, Fred VanVleet, 38.1 minutes. Number 2, Pascal Siakam, 37.6. Number 5, OG Anunoby, who's out right now, 36.7. So
forgive me if I don't want to hear about the depth.
3 Raptors in the top 5, 4 in the top 16, because then there's Scotty Barnes. They play heavy minutes. But all I'm saying is that, like, I don't think their bench sucks. Like,
tell Nick Nurse. Tell Nick Nurse, because the night before, Boucher got 20 minutes, Thad Young got 15. But
what I'm saying, like, I don't think
7 guys.
I don't think playing your best players more necessarily means that the guys that are getting 22 minutes per game suck. That's all I'm saying.
No, but he only plays 7.
Yeah, I know.
He plays 7 players.
He plays his best guys.
I know.
He does. I mean, I wonder why. Maybe because he wants the 6th seed.
Hey, maybe so.
Maybe that's why.
Probably wants to get there.
Yeah. I think he wants the 6th seed, which is why incentives help.
And I think it's, I think it's good enough. I think it's good enough. I think it's good enough to win a couple of games. Yeah, in the playoffs, I do.
Yeah, get it to 6, something like that. That'd be a hell of an accomplishment if Toronto in this year, when they were unexpected by so many people to be worth a damn to get into the playoffs. If you push a team to 6, favorite.
Oh, I said, look,
beyond an accomplishment.
I claimed earlier in the year, like, where I did not. I said, when I went through their roster, I'm like, this is just not good enough. It's not good enough. I didn't know he was only going to play 7 guys. If I knew he was willing to only play 7 and he just play them 45 minutes a night, I would have changed my projection on them, because they do have. He's pulled it off. I don't know if they'll be running to the ground by playoff time, but I do think they can win a couple games.